It's your girl Tart.
I'm Diamond.
And I'm Kee.
And you're listening to Clownin with My Cousins podcast, where we have candid conversations on relationships, culture, and so much more.
You know, the kind of conversations you have with your favorite cousin.
So get ready to clown with my cousins.
Here on today's episode, we're going to be doing a little bit of introduction. So a little bit about myself is we all reside in Oklahoma City. Shout out to Oklahoma, born and raised. You know, it's a little boring here or whatever, but you know, fuck shit go on here too. So, main thing about our podcast is we're gonna be talking about real shit that happens, and we're gonna give you our honest, brutal opinions. We all have different ways of doing so, but we all get our point across, and we do it in a good old fashion.
My name is Kee. I kind of like to pick the brain a little bit when in discussion and in debates. I am done with my introduction. Okay. I'm Tart. I'm the righteous cousin. I used to be the psycho cousin, but
She still is.
Jesus snatched me up, so.
And still made a psycho.
So, yeah, I'm just coming with the righteous opinion, you know, make sure your soul's still right while you out here making decisions.
And you play with her, she gonna set your shit on fire.
I'm not Jesus, but...
Okay? She wasn't today.
It really wasn't. I'm learning that every day.
Every day.
But, you know, I'm gonna make sure you're thinking the righteous way.
Yeah, dead ass. I literally go to her, if I be like, oh, I'll send her something, be like, girl, what would Jesus do? Okay? Because I know that she reads that Bible, and she would at least know. Because, girl, the devil be riding my back. The devil be riding my back. Sometimes we ride together. Shit be real.
I can't.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we just, you know, we have a lot of candid conversations, and we figured we let people listen in, and, you know, if you have a little opinion or question, we can reach out to us, and
I mean, we'll definitely address it.
yeah, definitely.
Now, given, you might not like what we have to say, but we'll say it.
I'm not gonna care either way. I'm gonna tell you what's real.
Period. I'm laying on you from the way that my brain goes.
Kee is gonna throw out a scenario like, so if Bob said that,
Right.
ready.
Okay. She's gonna be the one to be like, okay, if I ask you what you did today and you hung with the homies and Keisha, don't just come home and be like, I hung with the homies, nigga. Add Keisha too.
That's right. Yeah, that's why I like asking Kee, because she gonna come all the way from the left. Like, girl,
All the way.
I didn't even think about that.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something too. She's emotion driven. I'm not, right? So I don't give a fuck about your feelings, right? She cares a little bit about your feelings.
A lot of it.
Why
I gotta be the emotional cousin?
I'm not saying that you're emotional. You're not emotional at all. Girl, this family has no emotion. But the thing about it is that you come in and be like, I just don't understand why.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, this is why. And if you look at anything else out of this, bitch, you're never gonna get it.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes every time. And I'm the mediator, so I just make sure that they don't.
Yeah, she'll tell me I'm gaslighting in a heartbeat, so.
Yeah. I'll be like, calm it down a little bit, guys. But anyway, y'all got anything y'all want to get off of y'all's chest?
I do.
Oh Lord.
So, you know I was coming. So listen, my issue, this is my biggest issue and I don't understand it, and it's starting to get, it's been getting on my nerves, right? At this point, I'm 31, okay? I'm 31. Don't text me and ask me every day, what am I doing, and not have any plans, or have any plans on making plans. Don't waste my time, because at this point, you can say, yeah, what are you doing? Because I could care less. To be honest, for me to be like nothing and you be like, oh.
So how do you want them to reach out to you though?
Hey, what's going on? Do you have any plans today?
Oh, so you don't want them to reach out at all if they don't have any plans.
Yeah, but what am I wasting my time for? Because in my mind, all you're going to do is hit me up every day and be like, what are you doing? It's different if we went out on dates or we've been, we at that point where you be like, hey, what's up, what you doing? But off the rip, I just gave you my number and you, what you doing, nigga?
I hate what you doing. I hate when you what you doing me to death. I do hate that.
In my mind, that's
what you're doing is already a fail, because you kind of already know that what you're doing is not to be followed with a let's go to such and such. Right. Let's do this. It's just a that's cool.
or it's followed up with you trying to come over and chill. Nigga, no, nigga, I just gave you my number yesterday. Come over and chill, nigga. You want to take me out?
I like getting that. Good luck with that. I don't even think that even happens anymore.
See, that's my problem. I have a problem with that. So let me tell you, I work 96 hours straight the majority of the time at my job. The last thing I want to do is sit up with you and do nothing. Bitch, I sit in the house. That's how I get my money. Okay? So the last thing I want to do is come sit in your house when I've been sitting in a house. Which, if that's the case, I will go lay in my own bed and watch my own Netflix, of which I pay. What are you helping me with? Let's go out. Let's have a good time. Take me on an adventure. I like golf. I never played, but I like it.
It sounds like you're talking to the wrong type of men.
Is that all of them? Okay, so maybe I'm trying to figure it out, because when I was younger, I don't know about y'all, but we all go through our phases of men. When I was younger, I liked thug ass niggas. Yes, I went from thug niggas to extremely weird niggas, and now I'm like in the middle. So now I want rich niggas. Where them at?
Where the rich people hang out at. You don't go to those places.
Nobody takes me. That's my point. Do you hear what I'm saying?
She tell you to get your ass up and go yourself by yourself so that you can find the other one.
Not only that, you can't just go. You gotta dress up. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's them places you don't get to go in and just go.
I don't have a problem with dressing up or putting on makeup, as I am a makeup artist on the side. I don't have a problem with that.
You have to be able to love me as me. I'm not.
What's your makeup IG? Go on, shameless plug.
I mean, makeup Instagram is Diamonds Makeup Art. Check it out. It's spelled DIAMONDMAKEUP.
You wanna know why I put that wrong? And did nobody else's makeup for life?
That's not true. I just get somebody's makeup. What did I do? Oh, yeah, the wedding.
No, bitch, I just asked her to do someone's makeup for me. She was like, I just don't want to do it.
I didn't want to have to go through the process of cleaning all of my brushes and all of this for one day, and I'm glad I didn't, because let me tell you something. At this baby shower that she wanted me to do makeup at, in my mind, because it's the truth. Okay, so this is she wanted me to do somebody's makeup for the event, but my issue is that the person whose makeup I was going to be doing, she wasn't really involved anyway, and it was for her. So in my mind, that pretty face took other ways.
Regardless of how that came across, she still wanted it.
If she's paying, it doesn't matter. Maybe she didn't get a little bit.
Hold on, wait. Because on top of that, my sister also wanted me not only to do this person's makeup, but she wanted me to come and help her set up for this event. She wanted me to work
you need some help. Hell yeah, I need some help. I'm gonna turn you down. And you ain't getting no makeup, but yeah.
Okay, so I called her that day.
The makeup.
I called her that day.
Was being put.
I called her that day. Right? I called her that day to ask her if she needed help, because I had told her earlier that I had already made plans. That's another reason why I couldn't do that girl's makeup. I had already had plans, and when my plans fell through, I then called her to be like, hey, as a sister, hey, do you need some help? I know you've been out, you've been stressed, blah, blah, blah. Let me come help you. Mm-hmm. But then she want to get on here like, I'm not gonna tell her about, girl, shut the fuck up. Alright. Back to these niggas. So, I don't have a problem dressing up, and I don't have a problem going to places alone. Like, when Black Panther came out, I took myself to the movies twice, okay? Went to go see it twice in the movie theater. Now, any more than that, I'm not going to continue to pay. I'm sorry, I asked for revenue. but I like my Power Sticks. So, period, for free.
But we're gonna support the black movie
always. But I went out and I purchased it twice, and I watched it by myself at the Warren here in Oklahoma, in the balcony. You know what I'm saying? Had me a little drink. Enjoyed my movie. So I don't have a problem taking myself out on a date, because how can I tell someone how to date me if I don't even date me, right? So my thing is, right?
No, I can tell somebody how to date me without dating me.
Yeah, but in my mind, would you date you?
Yeah, I'll date me.
But listen,
alright.
They just opened up the spot where the high rollers go.
Where they at?
I'm gonna tell you later.
She can't tell you on the mic.
Oh, because she don't want all that pussy stuff. All you skeezers, you won't know that.
It's a secret spot.
Okay, I like a secret society.
Okay. Yeah. So they just opened it up.
Okay.
And I'll introduce you to some people. We can meet some people together.
Girl, you know what? There is no shame in my game, honey. Okay, I just went there and got her number from somebody that she was honest in the living room, and made him come outside and get her number.
And he came and got it out with those directions, and then he needed directions to be able to continue.
Well, at that point, it was his problem. So, okay, so check it. Maybe you don't have the backstory, cousin, so I'm going to fill you in.
Okay.
We go to 7-Eleven on one of our late night drives, because you know at this point...
I'm really against it, though. Just wanted to let you know, because...
It's a lie. I thought you wanted his number.
It's not that I wanted... She fucked shit up. It's not that I wanted his number. She seen something and she came and asked me, like, is he, you know, you feeling him? Yeah, he's cute. But he has not addressed me. He has not asked me. He's not that long for me, but like... You know, what's up? Like,
So you rather have a man address you. You don't want...
No, I can address a dude. I have no problems with that, but I gotta be in the mood. I have different personalities on different days. In that moment, I was not interested in being like, hey, that's not my mentality at that time. It was on her. Come on.
So I'm going to give you the backstory, cousin, because I call bullshit. As I said in the car, the only reason I knew is because I said in the car, I observed from the car, okay? We pulled up at 7-Eleven on one of my night drives, because again, we don't like going to the club, we don't like all that partying shit, we're over it, too old. So we put up at the 7-Eleven. She walks into the 7-Eleven to go in there to relax, right? And it's a line of people in there, and it's him and his other coworkers, right? So as soon as she gets in there, she cracking, funny, she laughing and joking with them. Wait. She tells me, so I'm like, what the hell am I talking about? She paid for some man shit at the register, right? Plus hers, okay? Some man. Random man. He was struggling. Okay, get back to the Okay. So what happened was, when she came outside, I was like, what was y'all in there talking about? Like, y'all look like y'all was having a good time. She was like, oh, he told me, you know, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, I was like, oh, so that's why you was in there giggling, blah, blah, blah. I was like, so did you get his number? She was like, no, he didn't ask me for it. I said, he's kind of cute, and you need to get his number. And I was like, I'll go in there and tell him to come here and get your number. She drove the fuck off. Bro. And I was like, bro, she's like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, because at this age, but she wanted to go in the store and talk too much. She wanted me to, I had already drove off. The shit looked awkward driving the fuck back to me. That one. I am like, what? 30.
So she said all that to say this. Her ass drove the fuck back. So
because she was yes.
Okay, so we get back to the store, and I go in to get some sticks, because I'm a smoker for 20 all day. And I go into the store, and I'm like, I need some sticks. Clearly you had my sister all flustered by whatever you were saying, and I'm trying to figure out why you didn't go out there and get her number. Right? So at this point, he grinning. His friend is like, both of y'all fine as hell. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. So at this point, dude was like, I didn't want to be a hound dog, you know, and ask her for her number, because, you know, I'm up here at work or whatever. And I was like, do you know that you miss every shot that you don't take? And he was like, damn, that's real. And he was laughing. I was like, yeah. So he had rung me up for the wrong sticks, right? And I was like, and I had already paid for them. So I was like, these are the wrong ones. I needed the minis, right? So he was like, damn. I was like, so it's clearly she got you flustered. I was like, I'll pay the difference. You know, no problem. I'll pay the difference because I know that there's a difference in price or whatever. I was like, as long as you go, I can get my sister's number. He's like, oh, I can't read the clock. So I looked at the friend. I was like, hey, friend, can you hold down the registers? He's like, I got them. Go ahead.
Oh, so the friend worked there too.
Yeah, they on the clock.
Oh, okay.
So he came right outside, followed me at the door. I hopped in the car, minding my own business. As he was like, hey, how you doing? They was talking at the car, blah, blah, blah. They exchanged numbers. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm thinking this cool. Then when she told me about the text thread, I'm like, nigga, at this point, you're putting in too much effort for a nigga who first said he was interested. Now, again, he should have gave me his number. But now, again, at this point, you've done everything that you can do. So at this point, girl, cut it
Yes, because at the end of the day, she went in there, she did what she did. He came out as I feel like he was completely forced to come out that door to talk to me. He talked to me, and then from there,
He could have said no.
He waited
He's a
till the
grown-ass
next day, which was respected. It was like, what's up? And I was just like, what's good? You know, we had a mini conversation from there, and then I was just like, okay, well, maybe he was trying to test out the waters to see if I was going to reach out, or if I was going to be one of them people just waiting on you to always reach me. I'll let you know I'm interested. So I waited for a little while, and I text like, hey, do you, basically on some what do you do type shit. Like, I like to play dominoes. You like to play dominoes? You know how to play dominoes? And he was just like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, basically, where you at? Like, he was like, well, I'm in the streets right now. It's my off day. And I was like, that's cool. So it's like, hit me up later. And he was just like, I said, hit you up. I asked him to hit me up when he was free. Don't do that. All right. So, I asked him to hit me up when he was free. And he was just like, I'll be free. And I was just like,
yeah, he was like, he'll be free. But let me tell you what she fucked up in the beginning. So she left out an important detail. This man was like, they were talking, and she was just like, hey, don't take no offense to it. I don't keep my phone on me 24/7. So blah blah blah. He was like, oh, we're gonna have to fix that. And she was like, no, we're not.
No, I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
That's not what I said. What I said was, good luck, sir, LOL.
No, we're not. Literally.
You just make it so
He was just like, we're gonna have to change that. Oh, good luck, sir. No, I'm not changing that.
I would have responded with that too. So
it's LOL, good luck, sir, because that's who I am. I don't have my phone.
That's who you are. But
I do that.
So I understand giving them the disclaimer.
I do that so that you don't get in your feelings before you even know who I am.
You give them the options, which is great. I understand.
Hey, I'm gonna reach back out to you. Just want to let you know it's gonna take some time. I don't sit by my phone like, oh, I got a message. Oh, I got a message.
yeah, but
don't tell them.
But anybody who expects you to do that has way too much time on their hands.
Exactly.
First and foremost.
Exactly. And if he really wants to talk to you like that, he would call you. A text message is not no back to back.
You better say something.
If he wants to talk to you like that, call me on the phone.
What the Lord
But
say?
then in that case, can't he pull that same shit back on you? Will he be able to pull that same on you? Like, it's your message.
Again, remember your role. And when I say that lightly, so I don't want nobody attacking me like, oh, roles is all played out. No, remember your role. Let this man lead. So if he leads by calling, guess what? Call back sometimes.
Yeah, but
So that's what she's saying, though.
I mean, I would have done that, of course.
But yeah, I'm at the same time too. I'm saying don't tell him just off the gate. If he asks, then yeah, tell him I don't be by my phone.
You give the niggas the play, then they don't have to play.
There it is.
I told y'all I'm coming with the heat.
Okay.
For real.
That's just honest. Like, I just feel like it's too many times that we tell people what we looking for or who we are when we don't give them a genuine chance to get to know us and figure it out for themselves.
And that's how you get wrapped up in saying, oh, I just feel like he just knows everything about me, like I knew him when we first met. Yeah, because you didn't tell him everything about you.
And to be honest, that man don't know shit about you. And not only that, at that point, it starts to be, and you start to put expectations, and expectations start to be set that aren't said. So then you set things up for failure because you like, well, I don't understand why he don't know this because we had this conversation. No, bitch, you had that conversation,
right.
And he was just
when you was telling all your business.
Well, he ain't the nigga for me if he wasn't listening to what the fuck I was saying.
It's not that he wasn't listening to what you were saying, but if he wasn't genuinely there yet in that part of y'all's relationship or getting to know each other, then it's not gonna stick. The only things that really stick is what you're interested in. Yes, and that's even for you. That's us as people. I'm only gonna remember what the fuck I'm interested in. Otherwise, that shit going one end and out the other. So if I'm
Don't let him be a narcissist because he gonna remember what he can control and what he can get over.
If you're not interested in the person at that time that they're giving you this information.
Yeah, but what she's saying is a lot of people nowadays are giving away the game. They whole playbook about themselves in the beginning before they even know if this dude even really liked them.
Oh, well, I'm better than that. I don't know. Nobody in my brain who really does that.
Bitches really do that.
They do. They really do.
That's like no lie. Like people are really out here doing that, and it's really too much because it sets us up for the people who are out here who like, no, you gonna learn about me, and we gonna be able to have a conversation to be like, okay, this is what it is, this is what it ain't, blah blah blah. We get to have those conversations and we get to learn about each other just on some genuine shit. Oh, we out on a date and you just realize, guess what? I like vanilla ice cream. That might not be the ice cream I really like, but I'm just putting that out here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you would, if I'm just sitting at home and you ain't took me on a date to go get ice cream, I'm like, yeah, I like vanilla. But guess what? We didn't have an experience that makes you remember it. No. We're just talking.
And that's why I like somebody to talk on the phone because that texting.
Yeah, because I read shit. So I read. So
not only that, I read it in 3 different types of, well, maybe he meant like this, and maybe he meant, no, I ain't got time for that. Let me hear you on the phone.
And I'll cuss your ass out.
Don't have an iPhone to put on FaceTime.
That's what she's saying when that devil be riding her back.
Your ass out. And a lot of times, I'll go back and read somebody else and they be like, I don't think they meant it like that. When they didn't mean it like that, because that's how I took it. The texts they can be interpreted so many different ways, and it's not a great way of communication. Like it's quick to be if
people don't know how to communicate anymore because of technology.
Ooh, girl, talk about communication.
They don't know how to communicate.
They don't, and not only that, people aren't raising their kids to communicate. Mm-hmm. And a lot of men in our generation, unfortunately, believe that being a man has to do with having a penis and being able to direct a woman on what to do, and it's completely asinine to me. Like completely. Like, nigga, just because you have a penis, oh yeah, that makes you a male by definition, but my nigga, that don't make you a man. Nigga, can you go in there and can you fix the toilet and stop it from leaking? Because guess what, I can.
But
as a woman, I can.
A lot of men didn't have men to look up to.
Yes.
For that.
And that's very true. So I do believe that there are generational things that did not happen, and there is a systematic thing that happens to us. But for me, there are some of those same men also had nobody to look up to, and guess what? They figured it the fuck out.
True.
So at this point, are you pushing yourself to level the fuck up, or are you okay with being stagnant?
Well, if a lot of women allow them to be stagnant.
Yeah, because a lot of women are trying to be their mama. Exactly. And then they don't understand why these niggas who don't give a fuck really about them. And when they look up, they like, dang, I ain't good with this shit. When technically I deserve more. Yeah, bitch, you do. Because you're not his mama. Mm-hmm. If you gotta tell that nigga to take out the trash, and you gotta tell that nigga to do this, and you gotta tell that nigga to do that, guess what, baby? You his mama.
That's you his mama. For real, because I got a son and baby.
I'm not raising. I cannot. It is so draining to go out there and have to. And what's so crazy is these be the same men who look at you like, "Where's dinner? Where's this? Where's that?" As a woman, you should be doing this and that. But everything that you're at for me.
Don't you do that? Don't you do that? I'll take over the show. So babe, don't you do that?
But that's real though. They want all that and half a bill.
No, they want to talk who had some shit first at the end of the night.
We don't do that.
Every night.
And all they really want to do is take out the trash when you tell them to and cut the yard. When it's high. Bitch, all I will not. And listen, I am not the type of woman who sits up here and I will not go head to head with a nigga and call it and disrespect him and call him out of his name.
50-50. 50-50 is not a partnership. It is roommate status all day long, every day. If that is what your relationship consists of, it is 50-50, point blank period, which means that I can go in the kitchen and I can cook the meal. That means that I'm going to fix my plate and you're going to fix yours. That's what you want at 50-50. You don't want me to go in there and cook.
That's still not 50-50 because you still cooked.
Yes, I did. And he washed the motherfucking dishes. What you saying? I fix my plate, he fix his, and he washed the fucking dishes.
Didn't wash the dishes.
That's our 50-50. We roommate status with this bitch.
No, 50-50 to me is I went in here and I cooked me some food and you cooked you some food. Roommate status? I mean, damn if I cook for a motherfucking roommate. Listen, if my relationship ain't 75 to 80 or better, I don't want it. I'm just telling you. I am definitely an 80-20 man,
so I'm gonna make his plate, but I'm dating.
I would definitely make his plate on the 80-20.
But I'm on a different type of nigga. I'm not on a 50-50 nigga.
That's exactly what I'm saying. On an 80-20 nigga, I don't mind catering to you as a woman as long as you allow me to be a woman. Right, so as long as it's okay, you know, if you want to discuss it's great because at the end of the day we're still partners, right?
Yes.
So discussing finances, blah blah blah, is great, right? But if you come to me like, hey, we're your half, and you still want me to cook, clean, fuck, I'm not. Who the fuck? When did I become a slave?
Bathe them kids, make sure their homework done, make sure they're in bed on time, everything.
And then on they always lying with these kids and you still out at work, you coming home and as soon as you walk through the door, they like, we'll be eating for dinner. Nigga, you been here all day. You been here all day and I've been on my feet all motherfucking day, or you been sitting in the chair because, you know, call centers is real life, right? But at the end of the day, that shit is stressful and I've been at work while you've been chilling playing the video game or doing whatever you were doing, playing basketball or whatever.
It just sounds to me like y'all dating the wrong kind of man.
I'm
not dating anyone for the reasons that arise.
Let me tell you, the man for me is out there somewhere. He really is. Yeah, because at the end of the day,
keep the hope.
I'm telling you, like, I just feel like personally, as a woman, I come with a lot, so my worth is a lot, right? I am worth a lot, and I value myself a lot. So to me, whatever man needs me, I'm adding value to. That means that he already has some value, and his value is about the same level as mine or better, and I'm going to be adding to his value. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing? I'm not sitting up here trying to bring your value up while bringing mine down. It's not. That's not how it's supposed to go. Period. It's just not feasible to me.
Yeah, but what do you do when you fall in love with who you fall in love with? In my brain though, you're not going to fall in love with this person. So that's not understanding.
Love is not enough.
So I'm gonna tell. Okay, what's love got to do with it? So listen, Tina Turner got her ass up too. Period. So let me tell you, and this is just gonna be honest.
Don't be Tina.
Okay, but at the end of the day, everybody's struggle is different. Don't we always say that? Oh, well, you might put up with some shit that I ain't gonna put up with, but at the end of the day, if you're still putting up with bullshit, bitch, you are Tina. You're just a different kind of Tina.
Yeah, but who's level of bullshit though?
You just like Tina who's not getting beat.
Whose level of bullshit are we speaking about?
But what you just said to us was what? If you fall in love, how do you fall in love with somebody and not notice the bullshit that's coming with them already? How do you fall in love? How do you fall in love with somebody?
You're blinded by the red flags because you're just so invested.
But how did you get to that point? Because everything that you should be doing should be based on.
Yes, I have seen the red flags.
Okay, so we have all been there. So at this point in time in our lives, where we have established our values, our principles, and our everything, because we went through shit in order to get that and to determine what that looks like for us as individuals. So then how the fuck do we fall back into a place of allowing bullshit When we've set our values. So at this point, you are ignoring yourself. And then
Exactly. And all it's going to do is yell at you and scream at you until you let them go.
And all you're saying is, oh no, I'm going to ignore that red flag. Well, girl, at this point, you're hurting yourself. You can't sit up here. You can be mad about what somebody did to you, but guess what? At the end of the day, you allowed that to happen because the red flags are there. And if you take it back, if you take them back, then you are saying to yourself, I am okay with this.
And you're saying to him that it's okay to
what
do
is your definition of the difference between bullshit and actually going through trials and tribulations in your relationship?
For everybody, that's going to be different. But at the end of the day, because to me,
that's where discernment comes in. You will know.
I can't.
You'll know. You just know. You know when you deal with bullshit, and you know when.
No, not everybody knows when they're dealing with bullshit.
Which means
there's a lot of
there you go, and read your Bible and stay lifted, because at the end of the day, God will reveal stuff to you,
and they'll let you know it's not.
And if you decide to ignore it, guess what? Then you are allowing yourself to go down that shit so that you learn.
That is not everything is like timing.
No, it's not.
It's all within due timing.
Yes, it is all in due time, but guess what? If you decide to, after you learn that lesson, you decide to take your ass back, you didn't learn that lesson. If you allow another man to come and do the same shit,
and you're going to go through it again and again until you learn the lesson.
But let me tell you something about those lessons. Those lessons don't just wake you up for the bullshit that you went through. It wakes you up for the other bullshit that might arise from someone else. So that if you, as a person, you just got through dealing with a man who was a cheater and had anger issues but never hit you, and then you go and you get with a man who throwing shit around and having hissy fits, guess what? But you're not allowing him to be a cheater, guess what? You still missed a whole big ass lesson from this other nigga. So now you got to go through some shit with this nigga throwing hissy fits and throwing shit around that could escalate because this nigga and this nigga is too different, but the lesson is still the same. Bitch, wake up and pay the fuck attention. You need to be able to, when you get out of a relationship, you need to be able to decompress everything that you went through in that relationship, good and bad, and then you need to look at yourself and be like, okay, sis, that shit ain't good for me. Although this shit was worse, that shit ain't good either. And if I get the next person I get with, they can't do none of that. Because if they do any of that, then I might fall back into where the fuck I was just at.
I'm not doing that. And that's the issue, because people have relationships back to back to back and they don't take that time.
No, baby.
So they keep going through the same thing.
Date yourself.
Dating the same person in different bodies.
And that's why I say you have to date yourself, because when you date yourself, you know what type of level. So again, a part of date yourself. Do you remember when we went to the wine tasting thing? Here we are thinking we was all bougie.
I knew when I walked in there, I had to at least for 10.
We went to wine tasting for, was it Joycelyn's birthday, and we didn't know whether we were supposed to lift the glass for the woman to pour the wine or if we were supposed to leave it on the table.
I thought the nigga was giving me the bottle. And she was like, you want some wine? I was like,
You got that apple.
Donnie did the same thing. She didn't know she was going to reach for a bottle of alcohol.
I froze to see what she was going to do, because I said, at this point, bitch, this is a learning lesson for you, bitch. Pay attention, because no one has taken you out to show you this. So now, girl, you out with your peoples, having a good time, no nigga on your arm, and now you get to experience it. Mm-hmm. So guess what? Now when you go, or when the nigga be like, where you want to go, you know that when you ask for that bottle of motherfucking Bianchi Moscato, that bitch should be poured for you. Not you pouring the bottle yourself. And if you're pouring the bottle yourself at a fancy ass restaurant, bitch, that's not the restaurant for you, because we like to be what? Service. We're out on a date. We're already paying for the service, so service me. But what it was we were in a place. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
It's just honest. When I think about so for me, when I was dating myself, right, I learned personally that when it comes to a man, I drive myself everywhere and I hate driving. But when I was dating myself and I was driving myself around, I said to myself, the next day that I go on, I'm gonna make sure, no matter how scared I am, I'm going to ride passenger seat in that man's car, right? And I did. And we went all the way to a whole nother city over an hour away, and guess what? I was treated right. I got to ride passenger. That man was like, here, control the radio, you got it. We literally vibe. No. I got lucky. Let me tell you, I didn't get lucky. I I was like, dang, I ain't never experienced this. This is great.
Why you say she got
holding hands?
Alpha experience. I got in a nigga's car too. Car full of roaches. They didn't come out until we got way past the fucking house. Call me an Uber. I don't know if Uber was out at that moment.
Always had an escape plan. Let me tell you. But it was so great to be treated that way the whole way there. I was wined, I was dined, I was made sure that I was good. It was the most comfortable date I had ever been on. But I'm gonna tell you something about it. And I was falling for him because I had never experienced nothing like that. And let me tell you how God does. God says, okay, I let you taste something sweet. Now you gotta make the decision if this is right for you. And I was like, I was all in. Didn't know shit else about this motherfucker said for fire. He treated me right at this moment. This nigga had a whole girlfriend and kids that I didn't know about and was fighting the case and ended up in jail, bro. The Lord, as fast as the Lord put him in my life, he took him away. Right? But it taught me, bitch, you like the finer things. You like white passes. Right? So real lesson. And bitch, you shouldn't have to settle because there's people out here who will do shit for you.
It is.
And show you a good time, but you better learn more about these motherfuckers than jumping in some shit head first. Because there's more to a motherfucker than meets the eye.
This is the reason why before I hop in somebody's car, we have went on plenty of dates. Before I just hop myself in your car, I'm not even hopping on your car on to Lord, I love you, but on faith alone, I cannot do that.
Well, girl, you know I pack a gun, so
I will not.
I will, because one thing that you're not gonna do, and it doesn't justify me being safe the whole time, because at the end of the day, if it's your time, and that's what I believe. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure that if I can prevent my time, I'm gonna prevent my time.
I don't even worry about the safety part of it. It's just the uncomfortableness for me. It's so many things.
But the reason why you're uncomfortable is because you're so used to doing for yourself. So you don't trust somebody to come in and allow them to sweep you off your feet, because at this point you have a wall up.
But they can do it at a certain time. But my trust is not just come hop in your car.
I mean, and it shouldn't be. But again, we talked about levels of where people go. People accept different shit. So my level at that time was go.
Yeah. Why not? Every rule I've done it.
So I'm gonna tell you, I did compromise on that.
I definitely did in my younger 20s. I hopped in on
I've done it here. I hopped in the car with this man. He said, we're gonna go to Tulsa. We gotta have a grand.
And you did.
I went. And that nigga was straight to me. Every stop that nigga parked diagonal across the, you know how you got your little parking spot, he parked diagonal across the thing or horizontal across the thing, and the police was like, move your car. This nigga in the store buying alcohol. I'm like, I'm not. Move your car. And the dude in the store looking at me like, better not move my car. What the fuck is happening?
So let me ask you a question. So you went, and I remember you telling me about the experience, and you was like, this was unbelievable.
I mean, it was different.
I've never been treated like this. I didn't have to worry about shit.
I felt like
fucking royalty.
a whole star.
But what did you, but what was the lesson that you learned?
Pulling up, he a thug, what the fuck?
Yep. What was the lesson that you learned outside of he was a thug? That you enjoy that feeling of feeling like royalty, but it's gotta come from somebody else who don't have all that other baggage.
Ooh, yes.
Pay attention to them red motherfucking flags.
Absolutely. I give you that one.
I'm telling you.
We pulled up to that motherfucker.
He felt like a motherfucking
He was like, don't you get out that car till I come and open that door. I had on some little ass clothes. That nigga said, don't you step out of here, get on my back. Let me hold you, let me push you, let me. I said, oh, okay.
Oh, you felt it.
I did.
I know you did.
I was out there.
And it's a great feeling. And then when you have to step down, or not, you don't have to, but when you decide, like, damn, I'm tired of being single, this is and that, because at that point you had to let that nigga go, because you was like, he come with too much. Yeah. So the feeling that I felt was an amazing feeling, but everything else with it was too much, right? So for me, I'm like, damn, where do I get the nigga who's like right there, right on my vibe?
Yeah.
The nigga who, when we go out, I feel like royalty, but when we in,
Yeah.
It's just us. It's a whole motherfucking vibe. It's just us. We playing dominoes. We can play. We tic-tac-toeing in this motherfucker. I'm coming home and you got a Nerf gun and I got a Nerf gun and you like what's popping and we having a good time.
Those are hard to find.
It is.
I'm gonna tell you, it is very hard to find. But my issue is
Everybody's so
you don't know. Okay, you don't really know that that's what you really want. You could picture that shit, right? You can picture that shit. But when you're younger, you don't picture that. You just be like, oh yeah, I'm in a relationship, I'm in love, and you be like, oh yeah, we gonna have fun, we gonna have date night. But at some point that shit get old, you be like, damn, what else we got? What else do we have? You put up with all this bullshit. You've been cheated on, talked too bad, all this other shit, and then when you leave that, if you don't give yourself time to heal and be like, you know what, I really want a relationship. We had fun times when we went places and in that relationship. I had a good time. When we went out of town, I had a good time. But this nigga was still a fuck ass nigga, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, you like, damn. You start putting your values in. Well, shit. I know that I want to be able to travel. I know I want to be on some relationship shit. I want some base shit, and we good. But I also know that I don't want to be cheated on. You can't talk to me no motherfucking kind of way. You can't come at me like I'm a bitch off the street. You can't do none of that. You're not gonna do none of that. And you start to set those morals up to where you say, okay, this is the kind of man I want. We build a man in our head. Okay, but the issue is that if you don't date yourself, you overbuild this man that you're not even on that level. So your man's level is up here that you can build in your head, but your level is down here because you didn't build yourself as a woman. And you have to be able to do both. And part of doing that is, I believe, dating yourself.
Yeah, because when you date yourself, then you get to know what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
You have time to evaluate that.
Yeah. I went out and I had fried calamari for the very first time by myself. And when I went out, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try fried calamari. And what I realized was fried calamari is great.
Are we out to know what we want and who we want?
Yeah, but we learned that. But you have to remember that at some point in time when we were younger,
Yes, we were younger.
Yes.
But we're not young anymore.
No, we're not.
We still don't know what the fuck we want.
I do know what I want.
I know exactly what I want. What do you want? Okay, so tell me what you want.
I want a man that has morals,
Yes.
integrity,
Yes.
a man of God.
Yes.
I can't stand up. I can't stand it either. Get your own man.
I mean, for real, that can challenge me intellectually.
Yes.
You know,
If you can't fuck my mind, you can't fuck my pussy.
you gotta do it first.
Period.
Yes, mentally. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's it. So
I need a man.
what about?
I'm sorry. I enjoy sex. I need a man who has a great sex game, that's on my level, who is not afraid for me to come to him and tell him the things that I like and that I don't like, and inherit his ego. You have to be comfortable in yourself for me to be able to tell you, because just because you've had sex with women down the line does not mean I am different. And that means that you have to learn me. So I need a man who is open to learning me when it's just us, because that is a bond, that is a soul tie. It is a transfer of energy for me. And I just feel like the man that's for me, we gonna be one. Like, right? So, and it's not just the sex. Like, you have to be able to challenge my mind. You gotta be able to challenge my body. You gotta be, I don't want to have to, okay, so this is the person I am, right? I know that I'm fine as fuck. Right, so it's nice to hear your man say that you fine as fuck, but it's not a requirement of mine. Like, if my nigga never told me I was fine, guess what? I still know that I'm fine as fuck. As my nigga, I don't want to have to be pressured into feeding your ego and telling you that you fine as fuck. Nigga, if I'm with you, then I believe that you're fine to me. Right, but the woman that I am, I'ma always have my nigga, especially if you looking good to me that day.
Oh, definitely.
Shit, man, nigga, come here.
Definitely.
Come here, baby mama.
I love me a nice looking man.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot. I want a man who is goal driven, who is not, who just don't want to stop, who is always coming with some extra plans. I want a nigga that I can sit down and have conspiracy theories with. Okay?
Exactly. Yes, because you know I be coming with it.
Okay, who wants to be able to build generational wealth and know if that is real?
Oh yeah, you have to. With me, you have to have. I don't care about your checkings or your savings. I want to know about your investments.
But my thing is,
where's the long money?
Period. One thing that I'm not gonna do is fall in love with my thought of what you could become, because my thought of what you can become ain't your thought as a man, and I need you to tell me what it is that you want in a life. And if I feel like that don't align with me, it's nothing personal, but I better walk now, or I'm gonna lead myself down the line that I gotta backtrack on.
That's
And I
falling in love with potential.
and you can't do it.
You can't do it because you can see somebody's potential and they
Never see it. Never see it.
never see it.
I have talked. Yes. Let me tell you something. I have talked to different men who had a millionaire mindset, bro. But them niggas could not get they couldn't physically get out of the environment that they was in. Like they just couldn't get themselves beyond that. But they had $1 million mindset, and if all they could do was break those chains around them, baby, they could have went far. And that really fucked me up because I was like, God damn, this nigga smart. God damn, and I can feed as much life into you as possible, but if you don't see it for yourself, you can never go nowhere.
Yeah, I've been in that situation.
But can you put that man in the same category as if he can't see it for himself? He can see it. He just don't know how to make it through.
Yeah, but you're not gonna be able to lead no man through nothing because that ain't your job.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
It's his job.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. You would.
So you can talk to him and you can try to feed life with him and talk life into him, and you can eat.
But if he don't step up, then
I'm telling you, at this point you can set everything up for him and be like, this is all you gotta do, and guess what? That man will never touch it because it's not. He don't see it for himself, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, but I don't see that in all dudes, though. Honestly.
But we didn't say all of them. You was at the 9%.
Oh my god.
My thing is,
just kidding, guys. I love you.
I am such a supportive woman. Like, so for instance, if my man comes to me and be like, hey, babe, I want to open a food truck. All right, baby, how we gonna do this? What kind of food you want to sell? I want to sell this kind of food, that kind of food. Okay, cool. Well, let's look for food trucks. Now, in this process, you done told me this, but if I'm the only person looking for food trucks for your dream, guess what? You're not serious.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You done came to me with an idea, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Get it off the ground.
To you with a
If you're not sitting up here like, period. If you ain't came up here and said, hey, I found a food truck, boom, I got this amount of money, I'm down this amount, and I might have it. Okay, guess what? I can see that you working towards your dream. I got your back, right? To a certain extent. Because at this point, if I put some of my money in, we co-owners.
Oh yeah.
Period. Nothing comes free on my bargain. I'm sorry, because what happens is, and especially if we're not married, what happens a lot of times is people sign up for shit and they do shit and they don't get they don't put their name on some shit, and then when people make it, they leave them same motherfuckers in the dirt.
I was just about to ask you about that. So how do you feel about people that you do that for and they just leave you after they on the come up?
So I think that it's some bitch shit, to be honest. I feel like where I am in a lot of shit is that if you rocking with somebody, you rocking with them. And when I say that, I mean that in the way of if it's an advancement. I ain't saying take no bullshit. I ain't saying if your nigga get locked up on some 25-year shit because he was out doing some him shit, that you stick by the nigga and you be like, I'm gonna rock with him because we was, no, bye nigga, because you went out and you got in that trouble by your motherfucking self, and now you want both of us to do a bid. No, bitch, I'm free. Right? But for me,
But would you still support him now?
support him what? If he was in there?
Would you still, I mean, like, live your life and still answer his calls?
Okay. So, one thing about me, right, is for the most part, if I let something go, I let it go and let it.
She's a lie.
You don't
Stop it right now. This is the biggest sour patch kid in life. She ain't letting none of that go. If she answer the phone, you gonna hear her voice, but it ain't gonna be on no friendly house.
No. So, okay. But again, so you're saying that I'm going to answer and be non-supportive. That is very true. She asked me what I support.
You gonna tell that person how fucked up of an individual and how the fuck bastard is that calling your phone.
What are you calling my phone for? Yes, and when you be like, I thought you was rocking with me, how when you was out there doing shit that didn't have nothing to do with us? You had a you mentality, and your mentality didn't say us, so now you want me to have a us mentality when you in a fucked up situation. No, sir.
That's right.
You don't get to do me like that.
That's right.
I'm sorry. So to answer your question, hell no.
That's all we needed from the job. Well, no,
I'm just trying to be more politically correct, but fuck it, hell no. But in my mind, the man that's for me, and it ain't in my mind, I'm speaking this shit into existence, Lord, put it out there. The man that is for me, right, wouldn't put us in a fucked up situation like that.
Facts.
He wouldn't.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand a mistake, and when I say that, I say that to say this. When our dad had a liquor store, a man came in, the police had set up a sting. A man came in, he was talking to my dad about football and basketball. My dad was a big sports fan, and he sold him some liquor, and the man was only 20, and they took my dad to jail. Right? They took him to jail. My mama was right there. Boom. Me and my mama was down there with our aunts and uncles who had the money at the time because all the banks was closed, and got him out, right? So, no, at that very moment, and my daddy fought that shit and got that shit expunged, right? So, at the end of the day, yes, she rocked with her man because it was an honest mistake.
Yeah. That was her husband.
And that's her husband.
That's different. You better not be thinking about getting married.
So sorry, no, if y'all can see my face. Okay. So
Her husband is a whole different level. That's a whole different.
Okay, so I need you to clarify. Not clarify. I need you to tell them, because there's some women who are out here who are married to men and they are their husbands, but they are not husband material. So just because I'm married to you and you are my husband, if you're not,
then you married the wrong man.
Yes.
But that could be husband material for that.
Your dad is husband material to your mom.
Yes.
That's correct. He's always been.
But that doesn't mean that same man can still be husband material to another woman. She may have a different outlook,
and I understand. Okay, so I understand that, but when we are talking about these raggedy ass men out here that women are actually fucking marrying, and I understand that everybody's level of wee PP is different, but at the end of the day, you know a fucked up ass nigga. If this nigga out here doing a bid, okay, check it. You marry a nigga, and you know this nigga's a drug dealer, okay? Bitch, if you at that point in time, you are signing up knowing that your man could be gone.
Maybe she's okay with him.
Okay, you're absolutely. I'm not. That's not the man for me.
Yes.
So with that being said, right? So with that being said, bitch, you're marrying somebody who is going to be a part-time nigga to you, because everything that you need on the Maslow's hierarchy, and I do believe it is Maslow, once you reach a certain level, there are certain things that you need from a human being. If that person is locked up, you're not getting that. And you are saying to yourself that based on what this person is doing, that regardless of what, you're going to hold them down, and the majority of your relationship is spent over the phone.
Yeah, that's if he get caught. You talking about
is that a risk that you're willing to take?
At the end of the day, women are.
Because even your working man can take half to jail. Your honest working man can get into jail. So why would you
are making more money in jail?
Why would you be a judge?
And I do know that. So I do know that there are men in jail who are taking care of home from jail, and I do completely understand that. They are still being men. But the issue is that you are still, although you are providing as a man, you are still missing your family as a man.
But that's any man that goes to jail. But he didn't have to be a drug dealer to get there.
No, he didn't. But that's what I said. If I can see that it was honest, a fuck up thing, if I can see that it was an accident, then cool. I can stay on my ass for my man.
Yeah, I can appreciate
But if you are legitimately doing some bullshit and some fucked up shit, and you are risking us out here, then I can't rock with you risking us, because you did that on some new shit.
You need to have made sure you said that before you decided to hop in that damn marriage. Because if you agreed to hop in that marriage that way, you agree with that lifestyle and what came with it. What if fucking my brain?
What if you get married and y'all good, he been good when y'all got married, and then 5-10 years down the line he decide, I want to start doing this, and then he get caught. So it's like y'all already married. So you gonna divorce him because he decided to make.
If our communication got us to where this was okay, if you gave me my options and you told me that this is what you were doing, and I decided to say, okay, I'm gonna stick with it, then I would stick with you. But if you gave me my options when you had a decision that you felt like you needed to make for you, and I wasn't okay with it at that time, then I would pack my bags and let you do you. I'm not gonna stop you from doing
I also say that communication is going to be key in a lot of these aspects, because regardless if somebody fuck up in a relationship or do some dumbass shit to risk the y'all in a relationship, everybody changes as individuals, and your needs and your wants and things change over time. So that's why you have to communicate, right? So even if when you first went to jail and I was okay with that, let's say 5 years down the line, if I'm not with that shit no more, and I need and my needs, and I feel like my needs aren't being met, I'm coming to you with a conversation, regardless if you like it or not. So, and I don't want people to be like, oh damn, that's fucked up, you supposed to be riding for this nigga. No, my needs changed.
Yeah, I make case files.
And I'm coming to you
what it is that I need. I want to make sure that it's on the file that I have already advised you of what it is that I need. And I give you time to figure it out if that's okay with you. If that's
and that's what I was going to ask. Do you give them the chance to change, or do y'all just say,
but how do you change?
I give you
you're supposed to give that grace.
Because when I feel it, I'm going to give it directly to you. I'm not going to wait and ponder on it before I come to you, because I know we still got time to wait. So I'm going to come to you and say, hey, so this is what I need.
So with that being said, because this is a scenario that popped in my head when y'all said that. So you rocking with your nigga, right? You and your nigga rocking together. Y'all talk about some shit that he might have to do some fucked up shit because some shit didn't happen because life happens. And you like, regardless of what happens, I'm rocking with you, right? The nigga get caught and the nigga got to do a 20-year bid, right? And you like, okay, I'm gonna rock with you. After the first 5 years, you like, shit, I can't rock with you, right? And you come to him and you having that conversation and y'all like, oh, well, you gotta give him a chance to change. What the fuck is gonna change? Because he still got 15 years to do.
It still came to that person had a conversation
so either he's gonna be
grace. You gotta give them grace and enough time to change. But this shit changes because the environment around him being changed because of the fucked up situation that he was putting in.
Okay, well, we need to come to an agreement. You're locked up. I said I'll stick with you. It's
so there's a conversation
where they want to know that I'm horny as fuck. I'm going to fuck on John Henry and whomever. And I hope that you're gonna be okay with that. No, we're not gonna be okay with that. Because now our situation has changed. Let's talk about it. But what are our options? And we're gonna move the way that we need to move.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you giving him that conversation, like, so either he can accept it and be okay with you smashing other people, but y'all still being together or whatever, or he can just leave you.
So this is what I'll say to that. If your shit wasn't an accident and you chose you over us, don't look my motherfucking way, because it ain't happening. I'm not coming to you as a grown ass woman having a conversation about a us when you chose when you made a you decision.
People make mistakes.
I understand that people make mistakes. I do understand. Okay, so given people do make mistakes because nobody is perfect. I understand that completely. But I know that the person that I am, that if the mistake is great enough to take you away from me and I like my nigga with me, there's no way that I'm gonna sign up for that shit. There's no way if they say, oh, you doing 20 years, then I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm a rock. No, I'm telling you right then and there, baby, this ain't gonna work. Before you even go. If that's what you gotta turn yourself in, I'm gonna tell you right now, baby, we're gonna do that. I love you, and I wish the cards had dealt something different, but they didn't.
But it's still a difference if this person knows that they're just going to do something for them, or they feel like they're going to do something for them, and they come to you and let you know what it is that they thinking, to where y'all can actually communicate and you can make that easy departure if that's what you're going to do. That's different from this person just, like you said, just going out and doing some shit for you, and you didn't think about us. At that point, yes, people make mistakes, but that's one mistake you your ass
that you gotta pay the motherfucking piper. And guess who that bitch is? I don't know, because I'll be able to figure it out. Okay, so there's a difference if we on some Bonnie and Clyde shit, because I do believe that everybody, not just men, should have a little hustle to them. Should men have more? Hell fucking yes. Because when you're in a relationship, you should have more hustle to be able to take care of your family and lead your family to greatness, right? But as a woman, you need to have some too, because there are some niggas out here who will leave you high and motherfucking dry, and bitch, if you ain't got no skills to you, bitch, you withering. Make sure that you good as a woman. Make sure that you good outside of making sure that y'all good, because it has been proven time and time again. And I don't just want to put that on women because it's some good ass men out there who women really fuck the fuck over.
Yeah, it is.
And they need to make sure they do it too.
The good ones is hiding under them rocks. I can't find
Well, come here, Patrick. Because I want to be on the rock with you.
Okay.
But like on some real trill ass shit though. Like dating is so hard. Like
It is. It sucks now.
when I started dating at 18 years old, when I was out there, dating was fun. It was adventurous. It was this and that. And then I got into a long relationship. And when I got out of a relationship, I was like, ooh, dating gonna be fun. And then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Dating is not fun anymore.
That's because dating is not dating anymore. It's smashing. So
And they expect you to smash on like the first meetup. I'm like, ew.
Because dating is now considered smashing, and if we're smashing enough, then I don't have to technically ask you out of your mind.
I just found out it's women out there that's accepting that. They'll approach the man and be like,
dating is.
let's go back to your house.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you. What happened was the dynamic changed, right? Women got tired of being motherfucking played out of their pussy and still having to pay all their motherfucking bills. So now these bitches is like, guess what? You're not gonna come in my life and disrupt everything I got going on. Hand me the dick because I need the dick and now I'm gone. Now these niggas is fucked up about it. They like, how the fuck is you doing this? You acting like a nigga. Well, my nigga, we learned it from you. It was taught. We have been taught to suppress our feelings.
And you know why we were taught? Because the men are the leaders. They're supposed to lead us.
And again, what did I say the other day? Submitting is a result of being rightfully led.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to submit to nobody if you can't show me that you can't lead first. So if you coming at me and you like, oh, you be in the role of a man, you doing this, you doing that, you trying to lead the family with me, nigga, how did I get here?
You
Give me the motherfucking baton. And if you never handed me the baton, bitch, I wouldn't have been here. So now not only do you want me to lead, but you also want me to submit, and then you also want me to be a maid, you also want me to be a freak, you also want me to do all this. Well, you're bringing the bare minimum. How dare you? The audacity. So then you're mad when I hit you up and be like, where the dick at though? And then you like, how you coming at me like that, and this and that, and you don't want to spend no time, and you don't want to do this. Well, guess what?
Who's the girl? Who's the girl in the relationship? Because he's sounding like the girl.
Because we here because you switched the roles.
And now they mad that all these bitches out here baton waving, got nice ass cars, getting their own nails and shit, then get Birkins and shit, and then they like, oh, I don't need you, you broke ass nigga, but I want the dick though, so I'ma smash you at nighttime. And now these niggas is like, I want to be with you in the day, and these bitches is like, come on, let's fuck and let's go. And then they mad, they like, oh damn, how the fuck, these bitches ain't shit. No, my nigga, these bitches ain't shit because you made them not shit. You put the ball in their motherfucking court and these bitches said, oh, watch me do a layup.
Watch me do a layup.
Oh, so real. Now y'all out here like, how do we get it back? I know that we all remember a time when where we seen a woman didn't have to have a job and that man went down and worked and he provided for his whole family and she took care of the family or whatever the case it was, and he still didn't put all that on her. He still helped her cook. He still helped her clean, take care of the kids. That motherfucking man sold clothes. He did all of that, and guess what? They worked out just fine. Worked out just fine, and we all looking like, damn, we want one of those. And every time we get out here, we be like, we can never have one of those.
I do want one of those, and I was.
But the issue is,
I want one of those.
But the issue is
to that man, but I have not seen that man.
The reason why you have not seen that man is because that man right now, he's not gone. What's happening is that man is out here chasing them bitches who don't give a fuck.
No, that man's not.
Yes, he is.
Not that man. He's not.
Okay. If you don't think he is, you crazy. Then
that man is still looking for me. He feel like a needle in the haystack himself as well.
And he's going around smashing these girls that are
Period.
That man.
Because he doesn't think that, he thinks that's all that's out there.
Period.
Because that's all he's coming across.
Oh, well then in that case, touche. We're doing the same shit.
But I'm telling you, or he's the man who's out here, or he's the man out here splurging and spending on the bitch. He's out here spinning his spurs on the bitch who really don't give a fuck about him, and then when she hurt his heart, all bitches ain't shit. But he never had the right woman in his life.
Yeah.
So he got his special on the girl who's like, oh yeah, she got a fat ass, oh yeah, she got a nice shape, oh yeah, she makes me feel like a man because she's making me buy shit. But this bitch ain't really got shit going on, and guess what? She in the next high roller.
Yeah, but best believe when that nigga sleep at night, he know what it is that he's actually looking for.
No, because at this point, this nigga is bitter. They don't think like us. He's bitter. So at this point, by the time he realized that bitch, he done been and went through a whole lot of bitches like us who was good ass women. Because at that point, he don't give a fuck about no woman. He not even opening himself up to worry about a woman because at this point all bitches is trash to him.
No, I don't believe that. Because if that's the case, then you can reverse that and say that it's the same thing.
It only takes one.
I've been through the fucking mud on a whole bunch of occasions.
Men are different. We are emotionally driven and we think different. Our brains are completely different.
We give chances. Men don't do that. They come across one girl break his heart and they like, fuck these bitches.
We outside. And then you want to know why it's 40 and 50-year-old single ass men out here because at this point
they was hoes their entire life.
Yes.
That's why they were single at that age. But yeah,
let me tell you, I don't know if anybody else read that Facebook post about that man who said he was going to leave his wife, and that one man said, hey bro, don't leave your wife. Ain't shit out here that you think the fuck is out here. And what's going to happen is that bitch is going to level up and you'll never get back with the bitch. You better work shit out.
People that all the time when they say they're even when they have a girlfriend, I'm like, don't come out here.
Yeah. You think that grass is greener?
Don't come outside. Stay inside. If you inside with somebody.
So disclaimer, I want you to know that if you are in an ain't shit situation, get the fuck outside. Don't settle for being the fuck inside because it ain't shit out here because technically you ain't got shit in there either. Get your ass outside and find your potential. Level the fuck up. Do what the fuck you need to do to level up as a person, and then you put pressure on these motherfuckers to treat you how you deserve to be motherfucking treated.
And get ready to be single for quite a while.
Then be single because what happens is again, the Lord is seeing your person when you are ready. He might not come when you call him, but he's always on time.
Right on time, every time.
So no matter how much you be like, damn, this ain't never happening, bitch, you might turn 70 and the love of your life fall right into your arms.
I know somebody that got married like at 60. And she was like the happiest.
That's amazing.
And she did her.
So I'm still single at 60.
Trust in the Lord.
I'm over it.
And her wedding was beautiful because she had buku money.
But I'm gonna tell you, but listen, I'm gonna tell you something. She got to a point in her life where money wasn't an object, right? So I do believe that when you reach a certain financial plateau, right, a financial level, I believe that things change for you. Your mind frame changes. So then you like money, although money is an object, it's not an object, right? So at that point you're like, damn, this bitch she got where she needs to be, stable, all this money, and now all of a sudden she married. But let me tell you, you have to remember that God does not exist within time or, space or matter. So your time ain't gonna be his time. So when you out here like, oh shit, I'm 60 and now I'm well established, got my own mortgage and paid that bitch off. Now this, now I want to find a man. Damn, that man ain't really gotta do nothing. Let me tell you something. It's your time for happiness because I can guarantee you that man is gonna take you on some adventures and on some trips, and you gonna live a life that you didn't think that you was gonna live from 60 and beyond.
And not only that, you ain't gotta live with nobody too long because you ain't got.
What shit y'all been smoking before the show? But I'm not feeling it. I'm not there. That's without me. I'm not understanding. What are you not feeling? Can't understand. Like,
let me tell you something.
I don't want to be 60 and happy. Now it's like I just got. So you know what I'm saying? I'm
You're sitting up like, I don't want to find the love of my life at 60, but say you find the love of your life at the age you are now, and then within 10 years you're divorced. Guess what?
Oh, and that happens 20.
Yeah, so what are you trying to say? 60 is the magic number. You ain't gonna
No, we're just saying that you should be happy to be okay.
because you're no longer thinking about money. You're not thinking about the financial.
It's not about finances. You're still about
what I heard.
No,
that's a lie. I want you to understand. I want y'all to understand this. No. It's money. Fuck all that. That's a lie. I want y'all to understand. This is what I'm hearing from the two of you when y'all just have this conversation. I'm trying to figure it out. For me, I want to be stable.
Yes.
I do want to be stable to where I don't have any worry about bills or this and this. But outside of that, I don't need anything else besides that stability. I don't need to be traveled. I don't need to be wined and dined with this and the way.
You ain't there yet.
I don't want to be there. That's not what my focus in my life, in my relationship.
So let me
everything that I want in this man is my communication, my vibes, my memories, my family, and my love. That's it. That is all that I need. I don't want Doonies and Burks and who I don't know who the fuck Birkin is. And you know, I just want simple shit. I want simple shit. But I want that shit to be loyal and true to the game. I want it to be in heart all the way through. All the way through.
I want to tell you that you're finding a man.
If you would have given me $1 million, what you gonna go do with your million? What you gonna do with your million? I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna do with mine.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Based on what I heard you say, you can want what you want out of your life, but at the end of the day, God's purpose for you, is gonna be your purpose. So while you like, oh, I don't want this and I don't want that, how dare you put a cap on something that He already got planned for you?
What do you mean?
So right now,
I didn't say that I couldn't be in acceptance. I mean, what are you trying to say?
yeah, but you're like, I just want to be stable. Well, in my mind, part of your stability, and maybe what the Lord is taking you is for you to be stable. And then when you get stable and you're happy, guess what? The man of your life comes. You can't put a cap on like, I ain't my man first.
Are you taking what the hell I said as a literal, like, oh, if my man come at 60, then I'm gonna be like, you'll wake up, I'm 60, and bitch, I don't want you.
That's what you.
That's not the fuck I said, but you know damn well, because I don't talk on a normal basis. I don't. I mean, I don't. Do you want, is that your goal in life? You want to go to 60?
It happens.
You understood, but I'm there with that. But that's not what I'm saying.
You're saying that your desire is to be for it to happen before 60.
Way before 60, but if it comes at 60, I'm not gonna push it away. That's my understanding.
Your point is, people don't find happiness until they're 60.
It was still also, I'm now finally, I'm successful and I'm this and I'm that, and now I can enjoy my man. Why you can't do that?
That's not what we said.
She was referencing the 60-year-old that I was talking about. She was saying that's how she was feeling because I said the wedding was immaculate because she had the money to pay for that type of wedding.
Well, y'all see how she tried to tweet? Remember in the beginning we said she takes stuff and drive it all the way somewhere.
I like to pick the brain. I want to see if she mean what the fuck she said. Shit.
I did, but what I said you didn't understand.
Well, I had to come back and save my life because you two was like, all this pageant over here. She gonna be 60 and she gonna
Nobody said this perfect. But I'm gonna tell you what you sounded like. I'm gonna tell you what you sounded like when we said that.
but I mean,
Okay, I'm a spade a spade. Listen, but I'm gonna tell you what you sounded like when it happened. When we said it, the look that you gave was a look of pure disgust.
It was.
And then you said, and then you said, when you two smoking me right.
I mean, wait a minute, bitch.
What didn't you understand? And then when we brought it full circle, you was like, oh, that's what y'all was saying. Yeah, bitch.
Well, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather be stable, like supporting myself before I meet my man, because I don't want to be the focus. I want to be able to focus on who are you and not what money you have. You know, I want to make sure you have money now. Don't get me wrong. I ain't
So one of those things that she's like, okay, she needs some money in her life.
Understood, but even now,
I don't want to have to feel like I need your money.
Your money.
You know what
I would never want to feel that way either. That's not in my brain. That's not a healthy
I don't even want to feel like
in that post of the guy who was stating that 50-50, how dare you want 50-50, and he stated that women can be the downfall or help to bring a man down. I feel like in the aspect that is kind of what he's stating, you can't go in this relationship expecting that you're not making it on your own as it is, and this man gonna come and rescue you. I don't want that either. I want to be able to say, which I can say now still, without a man, how long have I been doing it? I ain't went over to Sally Sue or Bank or Us and said, hey, I need your money. I hold this shit down, and when he comes, I'm gonna allow myself to continue to hold that shit down. Do I want you to sometimes say, hey, bitch, I got you money? What do you do? But then if you don't, I'm not gonna come to you like, nigga, you didn't pay the light bill.
Right. But I think that's the difference between, like Tart said, that's a man and not a husband. So because a husband again is going to come into your life, and then both of you are going to come to some type of agreement, whether it is said or whether it's done. Because I always believe that everything that is understood don't have to be said. So that y'all are lifting weights off of each other, to where you are then becoming equally yoked, like you said. I always say, and this has always been my motto, don't ask me what I bring to the table when you're coming to my table, because guaranteed if my table is sturdy and you're trying to come to it, then guaranteed whatever I'm bringing to it is doing great, because I'm sturdy, I'm stable. So when you come into my table and you're like, oh, what do you bring to your table? Bitch, my table, because I'm not going to tell you everything that I'm bringing to my motherfucking table, and you're trying to have a seat at my motherfucking table. Now, if you want to get to know me, then cool, you can get to know me and then figure out, through knowing me and through the processes of what I have come to my table. Because when you actually see what's at my table, bitch, what you're going to realize is my table that you saw is actually way beyond what you can actually see. Right? So I've only showed you this part of my table, but bitch, if you actually look down the repertoire, bitch, I got it.
That's right. You gotta give them the time to get the entire full.
Yes. So I'm not gonna tell you, oh, this is what I come with, and this is who I am. Bitch, no, that's not me. No, nigga, who the fuck are you, and what are your intentions with me?
Not only that, get to know me. Get to know if I'm worth being at your table, and let me get to know to see if you're worth being at my table.
So we can conjoin our tables.
Period. We can have a long feast.
Hey, let's have a And while everybody is out standing around looking at our table, guess what? We're having a grand time. They looking at us like, damn, them bitches in Cabo in years. Damn, them bitches just came back from Cabo and was in Turks in years. Guess what? Them bitches just bought a house and did. Well, how the fuck, mind your business?
I can't say
a mess. But for real though.
It's just honest. Like, we have to get to a point where, and I think our biggest fail is effective communication. We are talking at each other and not with each other. So
we're communicating as to respond and not
receive.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yes. So I also believe we are communicating to just have our needs met, to like you said, to just receive.
Everybody's so selfish.
Everybody is just out here to get. Gimme, and then when you be like, well, I need this, bitch, who are you to tell me what the fuck you need? I need this. Well, bitch, you ain't gonna never get that from me if I can't get what the fuck I need.
I don't even have that mindset though.
I do. Yeah. Because what people will do is they will come into your life and they will drain everything that they have from you and leave you with nothing.
They will. And
they will. And you don't get to do that in my face.
Don't have that mindset. You see a lot of it. You get played. Yeah. You get fucked over more so than not. But at the end of the day, it's this thing called life.
And nobody gets to
allow you to, as the person who's being who you are in yourself, to still be able to weigh out and see who's rocking with you, who's not rocking with you. You don't give it a chance to be able to see it because you're not willing to take, any shit. But I want to see who you are. I like to dissect the brain. I like to dissect who it is that I'm dealing with, so I know, is you legit or is you not. You can do that. I've been able to do that within family itself by the sit back.
Bitch, you guessed it.
Cause that used to be your sidekick back in the day. for that WW came first. Okay?
You know it.
That's just real. You have to get them. You have to. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people are like, oh dang, you picking my brain, or oh, you doing too much, or all this. No, what I'm doing is protecting my assets. I'm protecting my peace because people are very accustomed to coming in trying to disrupt your peace. And when you're asking simple questions like, well, what do you want out of life? Oh well, no, I don't. I don't know what you want out of life. I know what I want out of life, and I know what I might want you to want out of life. I'm hoping it's the same thing that I want, but I need to hear you say what the fuck you want out of life. Don't just assume that I know what you want. If I say, hey, I'm not a mind. Where's your goals in the next 5 years? You're like, well, I don't know. Well, bitch, at this point, you need to sit with yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you want within the next 5 years, my nigga. You need to sit with yourself. You know what? 5 years go like this. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to sit with yourself, because when I think about my 5-year plan, right, in my 5-year plan, I plan on A, upgrading my car, B, having a mortgage, because I don't have one yet. Don't judge me. I know I said I was looking for a man out here, but guaranteed I'm doing everything that needs to be done to get all my shit in order. I want to be able, at some point, to be able to go out and get anything I need, a business. I have a business already that is a LLC. Yes, I do, and it is certified. Got my tax ID and everything. So let me tell you, in my 5-year plan, I am looking to A, grow that business, start another business, have my mortgage, and be comfortable, right? Possibly even start a family, but at this point, I don't know about it. Okay, because at this point, everything niggas is a little shaky. Mm-hmm. A whole lot of shaky. So, in my 5-year plan, outside of working on myself, okay? Outside of working on myself, working on my credit, and I know it's a lot of people out there like, but I know it's a lot of people.
We almost done.
Listen, I know a lot of people like, damn, you 31 and you just not trying to do all this. Listen, from where I am and where I've been in my life, right? The things that were taught in the institutions that I went to was not financial freedom, was not to better yourself in that way, right? It was either A, I remember going to school and the main thing that was preached to us was go to college, get a second education, get a secondary education, right? Like, look the fuck up. Go get in debt. Go in there and get your ass in debt, because at some point you're not gonna be able to climb the fuck out. Mm-hmm.
And we don't want you to climb out.
Because if you can't climb out, guess what? The people after you can't climb out.
Exactly.
The people after them can't climb out. Exactly. It's a cycle. And like you said, just like you said last night, like you said yesterday, they are lengthening the gap.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are.
And the longer you sit and the longer you wait, you will not be able to cross over.
You will not be able to cross over. You will be where the fuck you were at.
You will be where the fuck they wanted you to be.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
You better tell somebody. Mm-hmm. So where I am in my life, trying to basically unteach myself the systematic oppression that was taught to me, mm-hmm. and then learning of my own ancestry, my own heritage, my own everything, as well as getting financial knowledge, which don't come easy to when you're a person of color, because they want to keep that shit closed. If y'all don't know, open the motherfucking book, because all the knowledge that you need is in the book.
They put it in the book because they know that you ain't gonna open it and read it.
Your ancestors fought for you to read because they knew that the real shit was out there.
And if you need book suggestions, you can hit up my Instagram. I will send you.
Tell me your Instagram.
It is _of_Britt_Diane.
Period. Yeah, it ain't, because it's real out here. I just need y'all to understand that you have to debunk and declutter the brainwashing that has happened, because that's exactly what it is. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people out here like, oh no, they pro-black. I am pro-black all day, every day. I'm black all day, every day. When I walk outside, I'm black. Okay? But it's more than just being black. It's the truth. And the truth be right in front of your eyes. And people don't believe that shit. When you go out and you get a mortgage, or you're going out to, what do they call that when you're trying to redo your mortgage, when you have a mortgage, what do they call it?
Refinance.
Okay, y'all better listen to them. And they come into your homes, and they see that your ass is black, they lowball the fuck out of you for your home.
They are doing that.
Y'all don't even understand that at this point in time, they are doing another thing kind of like redlining. So think about this, and say about anybody who lives here, check this out. They got Chinatown on Clownin, okay? Hispanics are where?
South side.
South what?
West.
Boom. Redlining. Who in more?
Rats.
Who in Edmond?
Rats.
Who on the east side?
Black and
Wax because of modern day slavery. So that the black folks pay for them houses. I never stop hitting that table. So we're gonna let them black people pay for them houses, build they whatever it is, come in there, know that they ain't got no money, offer them about 50,000, 100,000. When I tell you, turn around and put about 12,000 in it, and then turn around and this for 5 grand. Some of that.
And if they can't reach the homeowner, if the homeowner has an extra name on the deed, they're gonna reach them too. My grandfather has my name on his house, and when I tell you they hit me up every week, I'm like, this house is not for sale.
Let me tell you though.
Do not sell them. Your houses. Don't sell your houses.
Don't sell your grandparents' home.
Do not sell your houses.
Let me tell you something. And I know that to be true because the house that my parents stayed in a long time ago, around the corner, my dad sold that house, unfortunately. But I still get text messages and phone calls saying, hey, we're interested in buying your property at 1116. And I'm like, I don't even own that property.
That's crazy. They still hitting you up.
Look, I've never owned that property, but you found my number from knowing that you were linked, trying to get it. And
The thing is though, it's easy for us to say, hey, don't sell your homes to these people. But we gotta remind, most of these people that's in these houses have lived their entire lives in these houses. And if they know a lot of black people, we don't communicate with one another. We don't love one another like we're supposed to. So you got these elderly people and their sisters and their brothers and passed away, and all you got is grandkids and your kids, and they're not helping you do this, and you're not helping you do this, and you're at an age where all you get is your Social Security or this or whatever the case is, so you have no other help because we don't stick together like the others. Turn around and someone offer you $100,000 to get out of what in our brain from what we've lived our entire life. This is great. What makes them stay in this household as they are still struggling now that they paid their entire house off? They're getting whatever benefits that they did as far as work through government or whatever the case is. How do you sit there and tell a person to keep their house when they have no other support? That's all we need, education. You need to educate them. Go live you in a community apartment and rent your house out, and you have your income.
Yes.
That's correct. But if your house is not up to date, where do you get it?
But let me tell you
How do you get it? If everything is at odds with you. If you, like we said, when that man come in and they lowball you on the refinance or this or that, how do you get from point to point? They make you believe, we've been conditioned to believe that we can't.
Let me tell you something. I as a adjuster, as a nationally certified adjuster, as I took exams in fucking Oklahoma, New York, and Hawaii, and my reciprocals in all other states, let me tell you something. When you go in and they come in, they refinance your home, you believe that it's wrong, baby, guess what? You don't have to take that. You can say, I'm going to hire somebody third party, or you can even ask at that point for what they consider like a, what do they call it? But a third person coming in, and that third person is a third person who's not hired through their company, and they come in. They are a third person. A lot of times they are independent.
Private companies,
and they come in and they do it. And a lot of times
pays them.
The homeowner has to.
Yes.
That's right. So then we get back to my part right here of when you don't have it, and they made sure that everything that you need, that you have to call and pay for someone to do it.
But let me tell you something.
How do you get it done?
If you don't put in the
wait until you are at an age where they know you can't go get it, you can't go save it, you can't go nothing. Because you are barely making just the regular living on it. So why would I go and try to do all this stuff when I'm barely eating, I'm barely this, I'm barely that, family's not here or there or everywhere?
Don't sell them in your house. You leave it to your kids and your kids.
I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you something else about
Heaven in heaven. Who cares?
Well, let me tell you something.
I'm singing with the angels.
But even if you don't sell to your family, right, and you're saying like, who's gonna pay for it? Let me tell you something. With your insurance, if you don't agree, first and foremost, your contract is based on how you interpret it, not how the person not how the company who writes it. It's based on how you interpret it. That's what you need to know first.
Hold on, wait, pause. Let me ask a question. In your line of business, right, or previous business, current, I don't know.
Which one?
It doesn't matter. In your line of business. In your line of business, when people are coming in to take homes for back taxes, on a percentage or majority, how many of the homes are, elderly people?
Most of the time it's people that's passed away.
Or passed. Where they have not paid.
And none of the family has paid on
Correct.
it. Or taken care of it.
But again, it goes back to what she said, which was you need to educate, because a lot of times these people pass away and people don't understand what property tax is, and they don't know how this home is set up. They don't know if you had a mortgage and you was paying on this. They don't know if your home is set up. You have to have conversations, and be educated.
Because some of those family members don't even know you have to pay taxes on a home.
A lot of people don't even know what property tax is. They think just because your house is paid off, that's gonna have a house is good. No, bro. If you don't keep up on that house, they will come in and condemn that shit. If you don't pay that property tax, they will come in and take your shit, and they will redo their home, and guess what? You don't get shit. And all that money that your grandmama or your great grandmama spent pound on their house, guess what? It's for nothing. Because you weren't educated enough. We have to be able to educate our youth. So at this point, it starts with us.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yes, it starts with us. So back in the day, you can't really hold them accountable, because at that time they were giving that information to people.
No, exactly. Because at that time, when they were learning the game, their time.
They'll learn this off of conditioned behavior.
At this point in time, there's no excuse. It's
not. It's everywhere.
But there's no excuse for who?
For anyone. For at least millennials. People that know how to use the internet.
Yes.
There's no excuse. You can look up it.
Pick up a motherfucking book.
Read a book.
Ask motherfucking questions. If you see a real estate agent and you don't understand, ask questions. Now, is everyone gonna lead you into the right direction? No, but it is your job to do research.
They have free seminars all the time.
Research that shit. Wake the fuck up and stop waiting on somebody to put something in your hand.
Do the work.
Because knowledge ain't free. It comes at a price.
I understand this. I'm picking the brain. Just want to know where you're at. Just want to know what your thought process of it all is.
My thing is, for me, and this is how I think about it. If I go out and get a mortgage, and as much as I love my family, but I get old and ain't nobody fucking with me, I ain't gonna do shit. No. I know people that's done that. I will literally, in my will, put a trust in that home's name and try to get that home turned into a shelter to give back to the community or give back to people who need that shit, but people who didn't give a fuck about me when I was here. People do set your shit up and stop waiting for a motherfucker thinking that you got forever when you don't. Set your shit up right, because what happens is you pass away, and again, when you go on to glory, you ain't got nothing to worry about because you dead and gone, and ain't nothing you can do about it. But at the end of the day, everything that you worked for and that you put your name on and your legacy is gone. If you want to set your legacy up, set that shit up right.
I agree. Hopefully, this talk has introduced you to who we are. And y'all got anything to say before we go?
I mean, stay real, know what your values is, put that shit out there, be honey. Period.
Key?
Have a good night.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Clownin with My Cousins podcast.
Make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms.
Got something you want to discuss? Hit us up in the DM. Bye.